FreeMMOStation.com.
Hey guys, this is Hitzo of FreeMMOStation.com here today with the first look video on Rise of Mythos by GameFuse. GameFuse has other games if you want, you can actually try out, but today we are playing Rise of Mythos, which has a pretty cool concept. It is a concept that has actually been brought up in 2013 a lot, being that there's a lot of online collectible trading card games out there now. But the difference between a lot of these is that this game actually has an MMO twist to it. And a lot of games have actually tried to bring this MMO twist to it, but have kind of failed in it, in the fact that it doesn't actually bring the MMO kind of feeling to it, even though these games are almost all browser games, even though browser games aren't that bad, but there's not a lot of memory put into them anyways. So here, we're going to show you Rise of Mythos and just kind of how it works. So first, I'm going to tell you that there is 4 different classes, being the generic classes that you probably know about, being the warrior, the ranger, the mage, and the priest. And the best part about this game actually too is that any information that you want to know about this game is actually down below, and you don't even have to leave. It's just there. You can scroll down and it is actually there for you. So if you need to know what you think about it and about updates on the game, and the game is actually on 1.3 and it's actually fairly new, and there's a decent amount of players, that it will be down there. So it's actually pretty cool, being the game guide, or if any other guide, there is one here in the little menu that you can actually see anything about the actual collection that you have in the game of the different cards, and there's many of them. So I'm actually going to get into the actual cards right now so you can see in how this works. So here's different types of cards. They're actually separated into different types of creatures, and the 2 main ones being human and elf until you get down in with the half-bloods, the undead, and the many more that you see down there. So you can see here, it is also, if you remember about Yu-Gi-Oh, there's actually a ranking system. So I actually have common, good, and for rare right now, but it goes all the way to godlike, and then of course legendary usually, which would be the top one, but not in this game. So you can see here in my deck, I actually have 10 cards, which is the number in the deck and the maximum, and the minimum is 5. But you're always going to want to play with 10 because, of course, you want the most you can, especially in PvE or PvP, whatever you prefer playing. But you're probably going to play both since this game is capable of playing both. And I'm actually playing as the warrior class, and you can actually see how that works. And you can actually change the class that you play, of course, playing with one of the 3 different in-game currencies. I believe the one that you pay with is the one that you play real money with, which is actually pretty sad for most people who do not want to spend money, but that's what usually these games bring. So you can see my power is pretty low as I just kind of started, and of course they have little information under so you can know exactly what everything means. And of course, if you just want to auto pick the deck for your next battle. So I'm gonna actually get out of this quickly, and you can actually see the skills here on the side too that I have. I only have 1 so far, the skills being like your spell cards, technically, if you want to call them that. And there's actually ones for different ones. The class is really what your skill cards are, or what your class is mainly used for, except for your hero, when I show you in a few seconds how that works. So it's kind of pretty generic like most games. So you can see here now my hero, and it's pretty decent. I have a few different things of armor on: the crown of elements, the armor of elements, weapon of elements, and the cloak of elements. That's basically what I have now, and a ruin. I'm actually level 9, which is actually pretty decent, and it actually you can actually sell, or get, of course, just collect and enchant the different ones that you want as you get stronger. And you can actually see my currency in the game. Fortunately, I have no gold because I have not spent any money in the game, but I'm actually stacking up on the silver, which is your basic in-game currency that you get in the game, and rubies for when you actually put cards in the auction house, because you can actually sell cards. And it's actually pretty cool because a lot of people have a lot of different strategies and how they play and stuff, because there's a lot of different people who play this game. So I'm going to get right into the game. So here is the map, and in the map you can see there is different regions, me being only in the 2nd region right now. And in the 2nd region, we're actually going to go right into the gameplay and show you how this works. The energy part I will tell you after, because that's basically what the fight's going to be. And each thing that you actually do in this game actually has a reward. So for instance, if I finish this mission, there will be a reward. So I'm actually going to start now with the starting deck that I have. You can actually have different decks. So you can see here, this is the playing field. You see me, Sahitso, on the left, and this is the little blood sign, I call it, and I believe that's what it's called too. And this is the life that I have, 13, compared to the ogre bandits, 9. And here is the basic interface of the game. So you can see here, this is my deck under, and I'm going to kind of show you how this game is played. You can actually end your turn in a manual way or a automatic way, so you don't have to actually press end turn. And of course, you can actually see how many people are spectating you. Your settings, you can actually remove one of your own creatures from the field and surrender. This actually brings you back to the Yu-Gi-Oh days, which is actually pretty funny. You can see here there's a lot of people chatting in the left, which is very basic for what you see. So I do have a 10 card deck, so you can see here you'll always begin with these 2 cards up front This being the hourglass being of how many turns it takes to put the card on the field, and you can see that this is the attack on the left. You can actually see it when I put it down, and actually when you hover over the card, you can actually see what the card's ability is and what type of species they are. The color actually determines what species they are too. You can see the blue is for humans, and over here would be your dead pile with the nice little skull on top of you to remind you of your failures. And on the left, you can see here where your cards actually come out of. Since we have 10 cards that I have in my deck, here's the 8 that got to come out of this little pile right here. So we're going to first put down a Vigilance card on the field. So you actually have 2 rows. I believe when you play with 2v2 or 4v4, I think it's 1v1, 2v2, 4v4 in the PvP and the PvE. This is how it's going to work. So you have 2 little slots that you can put cards in, and the whole point is to get across, defeat of course what they have on the field, and then you can actually hit your actual hero and then take away their life and beat them. So I'm going to just put down, I believe, these 2 in 2 different rows here, and then we're going to actually start. So you can see my turn actually ended automatically. We moved up. So he actually didn't put, or the ogre itself didn't put anything down, so it gave me an actual move to move forward. So I'm actually going to just leave that. I don't know, yeah. This game is all strategy, like most games like these, especially because you're not really the one attacking. So you're probably gonna actually like do everything yourself. So it appears that the game is actually having a problem, and it has not put anything down until now. So you can see here, I'm actually kind of in front of the actual bandits here that he's put down. So you can see here, this is the attack and this is the amount of health, and different types of creatures actually move more down the fields. So for instance, I have a cavalry that will move down way through here, and of course you can see here this is kind of like also separated in the type of class that they are. So for instance, the guard is like a warrior. That's like, I kind of divided like that because it actually just attacks in front of you, of course, and the bow can actually be a ranged attack. And you can see here the +3 range, and that it is an archer. So I'm actually going to put this down here so I can defend my own hero, and I'm actually going to put down one more up here, and I'm going to probably end my turn. So you can see here I'm already destroying the bandit, and like I said, the difficulty is a little bit easy, especially for the beginning of the game, but as you level up, I'm sure it will get harder. But you basically just watch, but it actually gets interesting in PvP, and this is a pretty cool game that you play with friends, at least that I've seen for a little while. And it's actually not that bad, being the fact that, like I said, this is a browser game. You don't even have to download it, so you should always give games like these a chance. And it seems that I'm gonna win pretty easily, as this is the second level, I believe, already in the game. But we want to bring you the easiest of all the gameplay. So I don't know what to do with this card. I believe I'm gonna kind of kill this. So I'm gonna use a spell card so I can raise the attack, and I actually do win the match in just about 4 minutes, and I had 6 turns. So you can actually see how this works. So when it shows you your reward, you can see that I got a Lance Knight, which is actually pretty cool. So you unlock different things, and it actually shows you the amount of silver and experience you get. And of course, this reputation thing on the side. I'm actually level 6 in humans. That's basically what I've used mostly. And then I've used the elf a little while with the bow and arrow people, and the warrior. I got a lot of people, different things. So you actually confirm and exit really easily. I said it is a pretty cool game. So now you can see that I'm going to come back to the energy part. You can see here that it is actually a spot to refill, but I've gone down. So I'm pretty sure with the in-game currency, I believe it is the gold that you have to buy. But once you get to level 20, you actually get free gold. So that's why they want you to make play so you can actually get more gold to bring your energy up, so you can actually fight more and more and level up. So now I'm going to kind of go back to the aspect of the regular just PvP, if we could, hopefully. Because what happens is, I still have not figured it out, and a lot of people have had problems with this, especially with just being update 1.3, is that everything kind of like is on the screen and everything. That's why I gotta click back, but a lot of people didn't know that until I figured it out also. So this is your basic world. You can see that now this is like unlockable, so everything here is basically unlockable. And like I said, there is leaderboards, so you can actually go to the ranking board, but like I said, everything's kind of under you, so you can actually see the leaderboards right under you. And you actually get daily rewards. So I'm actually going to look to see if I got my daily rewards, and I have not yet, because there's different objectives that you have to do, and there's actually a lot. And of course you can enchant, and there's different types of things, especially if you join a guild and if you make friends, which is actually pretty cool, because a lot of people, like I said, are really nice, and they actually like playing, because on the left side there's always a lot of people talking. And of course you have those little pop-ups that nobody really likes. But otherwise, guys, I hope you really like this game. If you try it out, it's actually pretty cool. If you want to try PvP, of course, it's basically just like I played, just of course with another person. And it's like I said, everybody's really friendly. The map will always flicker at you saying you have regions to conquer, so it always makes you want to play more. Like I said, it will always have all these menus of the reputation, and it's pretty complex on how what it shows you too. And of course, that amazing bar that you always will see at the top of all these type of games. And of course, to change the class. And if you want to know anything else more about cards, if you just go to edit cards, I believe there is deck info somewhere here. And as you can see here, yes, this is where it shows like all your different statistics on what you have and what type of cards you have. So it's actually pretty cool. Well, guys, we actually appreciate your comments on this video. So if you have anything to say or you want to know anything about the game, we'll be happy to comment to you guys. We love your support and we want to just keep on making these videos. We'll be back with more first look at videos. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you later.